Smash that like, y'all. Come in, come in, come in. What y'all got going on this Saturday? 83 degrees. The sun was out at 9 o'clock today. Come in, come in. What's going on? Did you vote for this? Double tap the stream. It's for y'all in here, man. Smash that like. Make sure y'all taking the poll. Smash that like. What's going on, Godfather? You voted for it. You keep saying that. What did you vote for, Godfather? CT, what's up with you? What's up? What's up? What's up? What did you vote for, Godfather? CT, how far have you gotten in that Rome Total War? I've been playing it off and on. I'll be crushing that shit. Smash that like for y'all in here. Double tap the stream. Godfather say he voted for it. What did you vote for exactly, Godfather? High gas prices, wrecked economy, no trust in public officials, not even knowing which way we going because it's almost 2028 and ain't nobody peek their head out and say, yo, I'm about to run for president. So it's it's crazy. They say the Iran war is over, but they still shooting at each other. Where they do that at? And what do y'all think about the Israeli military is about to merge with the United States military? What type shit is that there? What is that? How does that work? The United States military, pardon me, is about to merge, playing Thrace and making a barbarian Greek empire. Okay, okay. I like the roll with the Romans, and I'll take one ship. The first move I'll make is send a ship way this way and that way. That way, I mean, set up an outpost on all the lands, the furthest away from Rome. That's my strategy at Rome toward the war. But did you really vote for this, Godfather? It makes no sense what's going on. Double tap that. It's five of y'all in here. Come in, come in, come in. Not what I voted for, but what I didn't want to, didn't vote for. Not what I voted for, but what. And what does that mean? Can you explain that? Not what I voted for, but what I didn't vote for. Okay. So would you say you didn't vote for a warmongering president for him to ignore the infrastructure, high gas, economy wrecked? And I'm gonna tell you, I played as okay, that's what it is. I'll say this for the people who did vote for this. So you voted for $10 gas and um all sorts of shenanigans, huh? Fanbo, what's up? I voted to get Donald Trump boycotted ASAP. Hey Fanbo, I've been coming through your page too. What is that? What's that program you be on? Seemingly a lot of people want to get Donald Trump ass out of here now. Okay. Why don't y'all like Harris? Like I said she might be your next president. Why don't you like Kamala Harris? What's Kamala? And don't say word salad. She's dumb. She's none of that because number one, she wouldn't have excelled to the heights of being a vice president. Smash that like high food and gas prices. They only affect the bottom 50% of the population, y'all. Gas is cheaper because the dollar was more. You know what I mean, worth more when Obama and them was in office. The dollar ain't shit right now. The dollar has too many competitors, too much competition, and then it's nothing behind it. Not even the integrity of the United States. A lot of countries are not doing business in the United States dollar. They're doing business in their own um denomination, or in if it's two countries, they'll do the business in whichever country is the more wealthy. So say it's China and India, they'll do it in India because although China has more prestige money, India has got a fucking war chest of, you know what I'm saying? Harris is part of shit that's going on right now. Harris is part of it and Trump. What makes so Harris has a bigger part, played a bigger role in what's going on now than Trump did, huh? That's crazy. So blame it on Kamala Harris. She won't even the president. What she got a part of playing that shit? They say the jobs up, but what kind of jobs? Are the jobs for Americans? Fambo, what you got going on tonight, family? Why was Harris incompetent and Joe Biden was asleep and with dementia? That don't make sense. What I'm saying? You keep saying all this stuff about what Harris was doing. Harris was just the vice president. She was. What about Joe Biden? You keep saying what was she seemingly incompetent to do? She did exactly what she was supposed to do. Take the fall for Joe Biden. I don't understand it. Either I'm gonna tell you some real shit. Either it's racial or um misogynistic. It's one of the two. It wasn't the why do y'all keep saying the Biden and the Harris administration? That was the Biden administration. You're not I don't know I don't hear anybody saying the Trump Vance administration. That don't make sense, you know what I'm saying? I don't hear any of you saying the Trump Vance administration. You're saying the Biden and Harris administration for all of this. So is it the Trump Vance administration or is the Trump administration or is it the Trump MAGA administration? That's so I mean, that's crazy. You know what? You know, that's what the TV said, right? It's saying like a lot of y'all regurgitating this stuff about Kamala Harris because television said it about her. It's the way she spoke and her what's so different from the way she spoke? Obama couldn't say ISIS, he said ISIL. And Donald Trump clearly does not speak um like an English teacher. It's crazy. What was the way she spoke? And what mannerisms? Was she proud with her head up? Y'all wanted her with her head down and you vote for me? What was she supposed to be doing? Her mannerisms. Sometimes it may be that you're not familiar with a woman of color and her mannerisms. It might seem alien to you because you be setting in your way because you immediately think women of color are gonna be, you know what I mean, even though I mean it's okay to get when it need to be. Okay, cool, believe whatever gets you. What is that supposed to mean, Godfather? Her cackling. See what I'm saying? That was like some trending shit that they was brainwashing y'all ass to say. Everybody was saying it. Her cackling everybody was saying it. No less they were saying Joe Biden was asleep, and people were saying the stuff about Donald Trump. She was a tedious speaker. You probably never even listened to none of her speeches. You were so blinded by it, you didn't want a woman of color to be the president, fam. That's what I'm gonna tell you what it sound like about what y'all when y'all be saying stuff like that. It sounds like your whole thing was a woman of color being the president. Like, let's admit it, man. It is what it is. She was a woman of color. Not to mention was she a woman of color. And you know what I'm saying? And I'll take that, whatever you say is your explanation of why you know what it is. It's like just by saying stupid stuff. You never said, well, she fucked up this in Rome and she fucked up that in Genoa because she was a tedious speaker. And you got an 80-year-old man in there right now who cannot relate to shit about you. He don't know nothing about you. Even if he was 40, he wouldn't know shit about you because he's privileged. He used to everything handed to him. An 80-year-old man in there, and you say she was tedious. Come on, man. I know what that is, and that's my opinion. When they knock that lady, her cackling, and you got an 80-year-old man just blurting out stuff, falling asleep at dinner. He just fell asleep at dinner the other night, and you say she was tedious and incoherent and incompetent. Mm-mm-mm. See what I'm saying? Now Joe couldn't speak. Period. Wow. CT, would you consider yourself a Colorado redneck? Steve, what's up with you, Steve? Hello from Middleton, Ohio, hometown of JD Vance. Speaking of JD Vance, hey Steve, what popped off in Ohio today? Toledo. What happened in Toledo? They said it was a shootout or something. Somebody got busy in Toledo today, family. How far you from Milwaukee, Steve? Yeah, I think it was some kind of shootout or something in Milwaukee. I mean Toledo. Well, how far are you from Milwaukee? Haven't heard. I was over at a friend's house. Okay, helping with the clones. How they doing? How they doing? What do you got going on? What kind of clones you got going? Some OG Kush. But yeah, some popped off in Toledo, fam. Well, how far you from Milwaukee? I just was doing a deep dive yesterday on Schlitz Brewing Company, um, Milwaukee's Best, um, Pabst Blue Ribbon, Miller. You know what I'm saying? I was doing a deep dive on Milwaukee beers that came out of Milwaukee. They kind of like was the beers for the country. It was Milwaukee and the Anheuser Busch company, but I did not know PBR was the first like beers distilled with the CO2 shit where it keeps cold like the draft beer. That's PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon, and they put the Pabst Blue Ribbon around the bottle of beer for the Chicago World's Fair, but Guinness Stout beat them out. That's the best beer that year. Some sort of crazy name, Astoria or something like the Middleton is between Dayton, Ohio. Okay, okay. Make sure y'all take the poll too. Trump approved 60%, disapprove 40%. Okay. So y'all got going on this Saturday for the bills. They trying to end this war. I think Trump done bit off more than he can chew, man. Cause they still firing on each other. They still busting at each other. Yeah, I think Trump maybe bit off more than he can chew. Double tap that stream. Know what I'm saying? We on the road to 100 likes in this live stream, man. Austin Cormer, MAGA out tonight. Who knows? They ain't popped up yet. What's going on with you, Austin? Oh, matter of fact, a crew. Staunch Republicans are in here right now, though. Godfather, uh, Separanis, Targullion. You know what I'm saying? Did you vote for it? Because it's crazy. Like, a lot of people accepting it, but did you vote for it? You a staunch Catholic conservative. Okay. So do you support the illegal immigrant stuff going on? 99% of the 99% of the illegal immigrants is Catholics. Austin says, I'm with my wife on a little small town on the Wisconsin shoreline of the Mississippi, watching the sunset and the trains fly down the track. Okay, that sounds nice, man. That sounds nice. Why you say that, CT? All Americans should be MAGA Americans for America. Shit, all Americans shouldn't be no MAGA. I done did a deep dive on the MAGA. MAGA fits a specific profile. All Americans should not support MAGA. MAGA is a ultra cultish political group render unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. I just was saying, bring me back my allegiance. You said entering the country illegally is breaking the law, even if it's a Catholic. It's this 14-year-old singer from Chicago. What he got? What song he saying, Chuck? What's up with you, Chuck? What's the name of his song? Hey, when Chris Brown had his little jump when he was young, his mom said he was gonna be Michael Jackson too, and look at him. His mama said that shit. Okay, he 11, he ain't 14. God damn. He said he a hell of a singer. Shit. You say how much do you have to give to Caesar? Shit. If it's the Caesar we talking about, they want it all. No religion is above the law. Wow. Smash that like. Smash that like. You say don't you pay your taxes? Try Miss Jackson. Okay. Young Radu. Young Radu got a couple of songs, but try Miss Jackson. Okay, okay. I'll check it out, Chuck. It ain't like Miss Jackson that T.I. son just had the song Miss Jackson. And shit, they put some fire under T.I. baby's ass. They got the beef with 50 Cent. The motherfuckers went on tour. Demonic and that little gate mouth boy. What's his name? Look, Sideshow Sharp looking ass one. Sideshow Bob looking ass one. Okay, okay. That's who I like an independent artist before the peoples get in touch with them. What's going on, Sue, from the Bud Files? I believe in paying my taxes, but when the government stops existing for the better of the nation and its citizens, then do I have to listen to Caesar? Well, that's about right. And a lot of people be coming here saying, well, what if we start paying taxes? And then a lot of shit won't get taken care of. Don't they pay the soldiers, the military out of our tax money? There's so much that comes with that. Now this kid's songs are PG 13. It's kid school music with a twist on it. He's going to be big. Even Jim Jones posting them. Okay, okay. So that's what we got to do. We got to start them pushes, get behind our babies early. You know what I mean? As soon as we see it in them, get behind them. You know what I'm saying? I fuck with. I'm gonna check them out when I finish this live stream. Check them out, man. Them New York boys, man. Jim Jones, Dame Dash, Cameron, Jay Z, you name it. All them dudes sucking right now. Max B, Frenchie Montana. You notice how Frenchie Montana is closely following Max B. Everything you see Max B, you see Frenchie Montana, and it goes beyond the camaraderie. It look like Max B, maybe Biggie, and French Montana might be pulling some Diddy shit. He might meet a new Puff Daddy. Aborting all new babies and only gay marriage becomes the law. What you say? What is that? I don't get it. You notice abortion ain't even a big issue no more. You don't ever hear nobody bringing that shit up on the political stage. You don't hear nothing else about abortion. Um, None of that shit that they was fighting over in the beginning of the goddamn presidential run. Abortion is now a strictly go by individual feelings about the situation. It's nothing like it's they duking it out in federal court or nothing. Yeah, well French Montana, he was Max B and French Montana weren't really big dogs at all when they was back then. They was under Dame Grease. And you remember, French Montana is gangster for real. He's not one of them um clown ass light skinned niggas. Remember French Montana used to rap fast and he was a scammer. And he was meeting Jim Jones on him at a fucking recording studio and got shot in the head. And the person that shot him in the head, he wrestled with the gun with the dude and killed the dude. So that's what kind of made him. It stopped his rise as a rapper. French Montana can rap his ass off for real. All these gimmick raps he be doing and people carrying his music. Nope, he used to be a hell of a rapper, but that was before he got shot in the head and he did a little bit of time for killing the guy. But I think he beat the case altogether. And you believe that Constitution is upheld. He's saying that paying taxes is the law, but a lot of things become the law. It doesn't make it right, right? I'm a rebel, so I rebel. Nope, black people don't rebel. Um, Tobacco chewing as white people do. We ain't got nothing to rebel for because we ain't, I mean, Cameron too didn't sound like he did in Dipset when he first came out with Mason Holland World. I remember before he was with Holland World, before he was with Holland World and before Mason was with Holland World, they was with a crew called Children of the Corn. It had Mace, Cameron, McGruff, the dude Hellraiser or something like that. It was called the Children of the Corn. Damon Dash was even the manager of the group, and Big L was down with it too. Cameron wrote bunch of that stuff you hear from Little Kim and Little C's right after Biggie died. Cameron had something to do it right, and maybe Cameron wrote a few Jones for Biggie too. I know the Locks did, and they attributed it to Puffy. The fuck, smash that like, man. 60 y'all in here. We're trying to get them likes up to 100, man. Double tap the stream at least. I mean, Top three lyricists: Nas, Jadakiss, and Jay Z. I'll say the top three. Let me see the top three lyricists. Jay Z. Let me see. Jay Z, Missy Elliott, and let me see. Jay Z, Missy Elliott, and Big Daddy Kane. And the reason being is Jay Z, Missy Elliott, and Big Daddy Kane wrote over 50 other rappers' top 100 songs. A lot of songs that, like even on East Coast, Missy wrote the soundtrack to the 90s. Yeah, that's my homegirl. She from around my way. Well, my area. She the homegirl. She from my area. She ain't from my neighborhood. Timberland and Magoo are too. This neighborhood that I live in right now, Magoo owned like 6 houses in this neighborhood. He died like a couple of years ago, about 2 years ago. But he owned like 6 houses in the neighborhood. He's from actually this neighborhood and Timberland. But yeah, Missy, she wrote fucking so many R&B and rap songs in the 90s. You would be like, what? Missy wrote that? Jay-Z wrote so many songs in the 90s on the East Coast and the West Coast. Jay-Z wrote Ain't Nothing But a G Thing Baby, Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre part, and The Hook. He ain't even from LA, but that shit you can't tell a LA nigga that ain't a LA anthem. So I would say in the best lyricists, I would say Jay Z, Missy Elliott, and Big Daddy Kane. Also, Big Daddy Kane, a whole lot of rap when he was out. He wrote it. All the Biz Marquee shit, the Roxanne Shante stuff. Um, Big Daddy Kane wrote a lot of shit, fam. You would be like, what? He wrote that? Well, he embellished a lot, but I'm telling you, Jay Z, he probably used the lyric because he wrote it. I'm telling you, that nigga. That's why he was ghostwriter. I make your shit tighter. I'm telling you, Jay Z wrote a lot of fucking music, and back then that's when music was sacred. They wouldn't tell on the ghostwriter. Now everybody can't wait to get a chance to get one up on each other, but it is what it is. I'm telling you, that nigga wrote the fucking soundtrack to your life, probably because it's so much music that you be like, Jay Z wrote that too. Jay Z wrote that. Yeah, he did. But yeah, Missy Elliott, she wrote a lot of people's shit too, and her style, shit from 702 to Subway to what's them boys with the Blackberry Molasses to so many Jodeci shits. Yo, TLC, Missy got a fucking in fourth place, I'll say with lyrics, pen game, but I'll say with R&B, I'll also say I'll throw the Dream for the R&B, the Dream, Keith Sweat, and let me see, R. Kelly th- as the lyricist because R. Kelly wrote a lot of shit too. R. Kelly wrote that shit where he because R. Kelly will tell him to sing the shit. Say, yeah, I mean he produced that shit from Maxwell. The Maxwell shits, R. Kelly, that was R. Kelly all day. And what's that? My ship has finally come. That's R. Kelly, man. Shout out Robert Kelly, man, during that time. That's one of my favorite artists. That nigga can go. The moment we started worrying about what they're doing behind closed doors is the moment we lost them. Oh yeah, yeah, you just fucked me up with that one. Young Berg, a motherfucker too. I remember when he was Young Berg, now he hitmaker. Young Berg was signed to DMX at one time. He might have wrote some DMX shit for real. That's why he probably so popular. But Young Berg was on. Salute for that. Salute for that. Ian. Good looking out for that, Ian. Young Berg, yeah. Young Berg wrote a lot of shit too. I forgot that. I remember he was with DMX. Salute, salute. What happened with the pizza, man? What kind of pizza did y'all go get? Hey y'all, was the sun still up at 9 o'clock in your area? It was 9 o'clock at night an hour ago, and the sun was up in the sky when I looked outside. It's crazy. What the fuck is going on, man? Has the aliens came and nobody told me? I looked out my door at 9 o'clock and the sun was in the sky. I was gonna tape it, but I felt so lethargic. It all seemed unreal. Like I, I was sluggish to get up. I had this live set for eons. I just man, you know them babies only wanted cheese. I just had to adjust on my own. Right. Okay, okay, yeah. One of my babies is on that cheese pizza tip. And one got to have the traditional pepperoni. And then the biggest baby, my big baby, she always getting pesto on her shit. My woman gets a lot of she got a pesto chicken type of joint. It's pretty good. You know what I'm saying? But everybody always get their own flavor. Y'all should have went to K-Pot with the Korean joint, the Korean barbecue, where you sat down and get a little barbecue grill thing, and they give you the pot of soup where you can put your noodles and your shrimp and your vegetables and everything. Man, we went there the other day. We told that bitch up. We told that bitch up. Fuck that. Yeah, always is good to be with family. That's how I feel too. I'm more comfortable when I'm with my peoples, and I know how y'all hear my peoples in the background laughing and shit. That's like it makes my day because you know what I mean. I'd rather hear them laughing and kicking up than crying and you know what I mean. Okay, when you trying to come through? Y'all ain't got no fucking K-pop in where you at in Alabama or Mississippi? Yeah, see, when you don't have these type of places, that's what you should be trying to bring to the community. They get the community, I mean, something new. Everybody was kung fu fighting, dun, dun, and they went fast and lightning. Bama, there's probably a spot that does, but it's wow, we got them all over now. Them shits bang when you go and you fix your own food. Bridge arrests unmasked woman who's been posing as immigration agent or as an immigration lawyer. One of my homegirls I went to school with is an immigration lawyer. She Filipino. Okay, the ramen spots. What they call the ramen spots where y'all at? Faux noodles. Y'all just getting the faux noodle shops. See what I'm saying? All that stuff trending though, Ian. It'll be good to bring something new to the crib. Bring an Asian restaurant, cause shit. They told y'all to learn Spanish, y'all didn't listen. And now I'm telling y'all to get with the Asian and y'all not listening. Pretty much you got it, man. Man, we got all their Japanese steakhouse and stuff, but yeah, they too commercial though. And they the run off from World War II, where everybody was fascinated with Japanese and German shit. And with Japanese hibachi and German beer and winter schnitzels. Yeah, this a little bit different. You sat there and cook your own shit. That hibachi, you gotta pay that money you gotta pay for that hibachi, you gotta pay for that goddamn chef that spit all over your food and then try to throw shrimp in your mouth. Try to throw shrimp in my mouth. I was like, nah, I ain't with it. I pass. Somebody else take my turn. Ain't no fucking grown ass hibachi chef throwing no shrimp in my mouth. Y'all got Sundown Town still in Alabama. I can't believe Alabama's still that racist, man. I'm serious. Motherfucker try to flip a shrimp in my no, dude. No, I pass. And he wasn't even a fucking Japanese. He was like Mexican or Filipino or something. Like, dude, no. Give me some history on Japanese hibachi, CT. You think they in Japan? I know they ain't got that shit. Just like they don't have Chinese food that we order from the Chinese restaurant in China. A sundown town. When your ass got to get out of there by sundown, and they gonna peel your head. It's 5 people in here. Double tap the stream, man. Let's get them likes up, man. Greatly appreciate it. Why high food and gas prices only affect the bottom 50% of Americans? Why? I live in what many people consider the worst sundown town in Coleman. It's all reputation through because we all love here. Okay, dang. How prevalent is the Ku Klux Klan there? Ian, y'all got a Ku Klux Klan? And have you ever been approached to join? Okay, yeah, that's one of my favorites out of the history genres. And do y'all know? I'm gonna tell y'all some crazy shit. When y'all come in here and say, "Well, you know that Native Americans came from Mongolia and Russia and the Bering Strait," do you know what's so fucking stupid about that? Is the Pacific Ocean is so far a fucking way from mainland North and South America, but um West Africa is the closest continent and area to North America. Then Europe, all that shit. West Africa. And you will believe that somebody came over the Bering Strait before you will believe that they just came over on a trade way from Africa. It doesn't make sense. A good teppanyaki chef is a showman. His teppanyaki ass Devious. What's up with you, homie? Devious. Fam, his teppanyaki ass ain't throwing no shrimp in my mouth though. That teppanyaki. Okay, the grill is hibachi. Exactly. It's a little lines. You right. You came in here with your Asian etiquette, your Asian ass. What's going on, eyes? Hey, buddy. When you don't have much, a little is a lot. For sure. Sure, you ain't got to tell me that. I'm stuck trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. It is what it is. Now y'all know we still got the e-bike foundation going on. We are like $1.75 right now. Thanks for Ian for all his super support. Ian coming out the blue with it, donating to the e-bike situation. So with that being said, we probably be a little like 400, 450 away from it because it's from 650 to 700, depending on which one I choose. Now I'm trying to get this supporter funded. Thank y'all for, you know what I mean, putting down with me. And if you haven't, get over there and let's get it popping. Or the sundown shit. They were definitely here for a long time. There used to be a billboard on the interstate that said, "Don't let the sun go down on your back, nigga." They've been took it down. Wow. They never moved past the end. It's still there. It's just invisible. Ain't never been approached to join the KK, but I know some dudes who were in it. Wow. I love teppanyaki. It's not traditional. It's post World War II out of Kobe. Okay, okay. Out of Kobe with the beef and all that. So do y'all have the K-pop ones? Chris, that's my favorite ones. That fucking hibachi costs too much. They want you to tip his goddamn on sukiyaki ass. I like the K-pop. Cook your little shit. It ain't nothing but the same shit they have at a buffet. Wow. You would hear things like what in like they was burning crosses in the woods and all that shit. They want to put you in the crew in. Yeah, it was influenced by Western foods. It's why beef is more common than fish. Okay, okay. So beef is more common than fish in Japan, and they have a fishing culture. Because what's so crazy, besides having the most delicate of beef, that wagyu, they are not known for being cattlemen. Oh yeah, where Art? Let me see. Who is still trying to join ISIS? What the fuck? I bet you they were some white boys trying to drown fucking ostriches. Federal agents with the ATF and the FBI served a search warrant on this home this morning in Lakeside. They arrested Green Dezehi. They say him and two other men were actually Man, they live in a nice community to kill American service members. They went to the home this morning. It was a big scene and shut down this street. I spoke to neighbors in the area. They said a lot of military personnel live in this area, and so it was really shocking to hear that somebody was doing that in their neighborhood. Now, with Indie Criminal Complaint, it said that these guys were online, they were on Discord, they were on various messaging apps, speaking to someone that they believed was a member of ISIS. They conspired with ISIS and offered about $2,000 to the organization to purchase drones in the effort to kill American service members. All three of them are now in federal custody, waiting. Wow. That's like the lady they say was selling weapons, the Iranian lady. Hey, Ian, what happened to Rashad? I noticed you always mention your homeboy, the black guy Rashad. What happened to him? Was he in prison or something? The chefs are jugglers and comedians flipping a shaker and making it disappear in their tote, flipping bowls and doing knife work at the table. Yeah, that's what they do with her. You say call it a teppanyaki. Yeah. What you notice, they just found a tunnel too in San Diego for illegals. A lot of shit going on in San Diego and Ohio, but they just found a tunnel. And so they might have been sneaking ISIS motherfuckers here. That's crazy. No, we just went different ways for work. He working for a utility company, and I'm working for the city. We still see and speak every week though. Okay, okay, okay. I live in East Tennessee. There were food places that were sundown crap here too. I have a good friend whose father that got shot for fishing. Damn. Okay, so yeah, the tunnels used for drugs. But on them sundown joints, what and in Tennessee, is it Tennessee or Arkansas where they have that what is it, New Beginnings or something like that? That city, it's all white, the all white city. And you in East Tennessee, so you in MAGA country. You how far you from Appalachians? And you know them, y'all know them Melungians. The ton of people to Vegas is crazy. They also got them in New York. Hey, who was that in here that other day that said it was a sonic boom in their neighborhood? That they heard a sonic boom because that boom was heard all over the country. Yeah, they got the people in New York, and don't ain't Paris got a lot of them too, or London? Is it Paris or London? I seen them in Moscow too. It's a bunch of sewer people. Teppanyaki is the correct term. Hibachi is the open metal bowl used for the heating. Teppanyaki and iron grill base and what the name is about. Okay. See, here we say hibachi. In America, we say the hibachi grill. I mean, ninth floor, eating hibachi. My great grandfather met a few Japanese and shared our beautiful culture with them. And what is that? Your great grandfather is the guy who started on hibachi? Who that famous gambler who counts cards and all that? He was the dude who taught me Vegas, that the intricate tunnel network. I don't know. I ain't too much into that gambling stuff. But yeah, a lot of these metropolitans got shit. Mickey something. Is it Mickey Spillini? Mickey Mouse? Mickey and Mallory? Mickey Rourke? No, he shot down some Japanese planes in the Pacific. He was an AA gunner. Okay, your grandpa's was an AA gunner. He got, I don't know, smashed that like I can't even think of it. Ian. Vegas makes sense to have tunnels since they were clearing the cash twice a night and only declaring the second batch. So you needed to hide the cash from the IRS. Mickey Mouse, Mickey Mace. That's crazy, Mickey Mace. The mob was a third political party, man. Okay, Mickey Mace. I ain't never heard of him. He be gambling. He be gambling. He be gambling. I met a bum who lived in Tucson and said they had communities underground there. Vegas had a long history with the mob as a washing machine. Right, yeah. As well as everything else. Hey, look, we used to call this dude Tucson, and he wasn't even from Tucson. I asked him one day, I said, how long you been living here? And what part of Tucson was you from? This is like in the early 2000s. He was like, yo, I'm not even from Tucson. I went to Tucson for 2 weeks for some kind of seminar, and everybody started calling me Tucson. The mole people, huh? I said, I grew up in Sevier County. I'm kin to Dolly Parton. I know it has changed a lot here. Yet I see my family was kicked out of the Great Smoky Mountains to make the park. Oh yeah, what's your family last name? So you've been living on a in the holler in the creek. You know some Melungians. You was in cold country. Who is Susie? Who is Susie Wilkes? Oh yeah, you know a whole lot of Melungians. You live in the foothills right now. Y'all on Turtle Island. Y'all know that's the spine of Turtle Island, man. The turtle that we on. So no, that's Loretta Lynn was the coal miner's daughter, right? If Dolly Parton would have made it as a singer and a little actor, she would have did porn. Because remember, everybody was talking in the '80s about her titties. Everybody that had big titties usually like, she got titties like Dolly Parton. Trump's chief of staff been with him since his first term. One of the only three survivors. Wow. So it's starting. The crescendo. He's starting to crack up. When you lose your closest confidants and starting to got there going. What's her reason being? Let me guess. Her husband got cancer. Damn, Trump. I live so back in the holler, they have to pump daylight in there. Wow. Yo, how many times you had to sell your soul to the company store? Do the company stores still exist? I know cold country still got a few company stores. But y'all remember that when the stores used to let you, even in the cities, the stores will let you get that credit. If you ain't had the money, they'll put it in the book. That's what it is. Stands for that there, Ian. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing when you hear your kids enjoying themselves, having fun. She is saying the midterms is her limit. Insiders are saying she can't handle. Right. I bet you it is a bunch of chaos with Donald Trump. What do you think Donald Trump's on, Chris? What do you think they got him on some kind of new meth like they had the fucking Nazis on? Cause he on some kind of Red Bull concoction. That motherfucker is up every day. If he not, he cloned. That shit crazy. How is this dude 80 years old? He up 24/7. He got to be cloned. But I seen this before in countries like um the USSR when it was communist in China and places where that Donald Trump might got a bunch of clones, man. They always make the leader look like he's uh, indestructible. No doubt Putin been cloned. If Uday Hussein had a bunch of bodyguards, these motherfuckers got clones. I know Donald Trump got some clones. He probably got the mad Trump, the one we see, the Trump that go overseas. Then we got the Mar-Lago Trump. Then the White House Trump. It's so many because his mood be different sometimes. And that Trump, the Trump that they send to walk on the planes, he be held on them daggone reporters in the press corps. He be talking cash shit. Yeah, he on some kind of amphetamines or something, man. Yeah, the Hussein people was terrible. But Saddam Hussein and his people, they had a lot of attempts on their life, but they was damn near mafioso. Him and his family, their family was mafioso. When they family and they village the Takriti, they was from Takriti. Y'all know how, but they family was from Takriti, but Saddam Hussein grew up in Yemen. Yeah, Putin. Putin got a background in intelligence. Or he was with the FSA, or was he with the I know he got some training with the KGB, but they got the FSA, ain't it called? I think he was with that one. His weave is classic speed chatters. He struggles to stay focused. Shit, the FSB. Okay, okay. And they'll give a motherfucker plastic surgery. Plastic surgery, man. Yep. They'll give him plastic surgery. They'll make that motherfucker look like you. Loretta Lynn. I'm a coal miner daughter. That shit used to be good. Used to come on like every year. They'll do a run of the coal miner daughter. I feel like the screen question is tough to answer. Reason being why? Did you vote for all of this? High gas, wrecked economy. You know what I'm saying? And people Godfather said, shit, you better bet it. Some people can weather the storm. Okay, you didn't vote for where we are, but I did vote for Trump. And can you tell me why you voted for Trump? And it's not to debate against you, just to see where you at with it. I was gonna vote for him because I was tired of the Democrats and they bullshit. This is what I think about Trump. After he was shot, he knows he could be gone any minute, and he's going after American enemies, foreign and domestic. Wow. Um, can you name the person that was killed when he was shot? And can you name 3 domestic terrorists in America. I did a bunch of speed back in my clubbing days. Of course, candy hopping was more fun. Shorter line with a chaser of S. God damn, Chris, you need an intervention. Okay, when that ice kick in 12 hours of dancing. Where you used to go and party at, Chris? And what was your favorite song to dance off of? Ride the White Horse. If you're gonna ride, don't ride the white horse. If you wanna be rich, you got to be a beast. You know that shit? That was a cocaine song, Ride the White Horse. That shit used to be scary though. I voted him because Hillary and Kamala both only seem to be running on venom, not policy. Do you regret it? Because that word that you use, venom, that's how I would describe what Donald Trump is doing now. He's running off of venom. I mean, where he's doing president stuff off of venom. That's why your brain is addled, Chris. He said his name was Devious for a reason, right? Chris, Devious Chris, DVS. That's his come in breaker 19. Got the rabbit ears on. That's his CB name. Okay. Raves with that techno music. You said because they threw burning to the side. That techno music, they used to be dancing with the lights and shit, fam. Twirling the balls and shit, all that shit. That shit is crazy. I do a lot of shrooms and go to metal concerts to march, so maybe I shouldn't judge. Ain't nothing wrong with it as long as it's done in moderation. Hey, about the screen question, like I didn't vote for who he's being now, but what he ran on initially got me behind him. Okay, Ian, I can only respect that. You voted for him, but you didn't vote for him to come in and do all this bullshit. Exactly. That's what I say about it. I wasn't backing Donald Trump. I wasn't backing MAGA. I was disenfranchised from the Democratic regime and the shit they was doing. So I'm like, shit, I'll try this other moron. And lo and behold, I'm glad. That's why um, I got hindered from voting on November 5th, 2024. You know, they took my channel that day too. Early in the morning, they took my channel. When the voting was over, they put it back and they said they made a mistake. Yeah, I was gonna vote for him. I was just tired of Democrats. I want MAGA, Republican, nothing. And plus, Donald Trump, one of my favorite his show, The Apprentice, that was my shit. And before he started talking that white supremacy shit, he had not have a background in white supremacy. You know what I mean? Who don't? That's white. But you know what I mean, that's it comes natural with the supremacy shit. But the only thing that was a scratch on his windshield or his record was that he was a slumlord. Smash that like y'all, shut me out. Smash that like y'all. Just saw Death Clock and Amon Amarth in Denver. Shit, what is that? You're fired. That was my shit. That is my shit. So, oh, that's a group. Damn. Saw Slayer 3 times, but Iron Maiden was definitely the best shows I ever seen. No question. Okay. I'm talking about. Did you see Iron Maiden when it was in the '80s, when every in the '70s and '80s and all that stuff, when everybody was? I mean, or you saw them when they was old. Chilling Gander, what you been up to, family? What's been up? What's going on in South Carolina? Gander, that was you that said you heard that sonic boom that day. You know that sonic boom was heard all over the country. I think all the non-government agencies or non-GOs, the grants and Democrats was using to commit domestic terrorism. Huh? Define domestic terrorism, eyes. Y'all lucked out when the corporate Dems and Republicans targeted Bernie. You would have seen actual populism. Yeah, I know it was all good. Yeah, they never did explain what that sonic boom was. But one time we had an earthquake in my area. I believe they were doing something underwater. I'm chilling though, and they probably never will. With the family going back to Philippines somewhere. What's going on, Montrese Levy? What's up with you? I ain't doing nothing but chilling with my family. You know what I'm saying? And I'm smoking some. Damn, I can't even find it, but I ain't smoked in like 2 hours, man. I've been chilling. I mean, with my little queen, watching a little TV and shit. Smash that like. I think I got some kind of kush. My bad, y'all had this shit on mute. What's good? What's the last thing y'all heard me say? Hey, yo, that vaping. Remember when they had them cigarettes in the '80s that was like little vape cigarettes and shit? That was the first time they introduced the vape into um American society. Y'all forgot about them little cigarettes. It was called Prime. They're supposed to be an alternative to cigarettes. Them shits was creepy. And now y'all vaping. I remember when the vape first came on, got power, the motherfucker come through with the vape, the little junk like a back, smoke everywhere. I'm like, what the fuck is he got? Always know Trump will fail. He tried to run the place like a business, but that means bankrupting it and writing off losses against other businesses. But he can't write off you as that, right, Chris? That's the thing with him. He's not going at it like a politician. I keep getting the loading sign, but I heard something about cigarettes and vape. Yeah, this is a dry flower vape. It's not liquid. I was asking you, do you remember when the cigarettes they had the vape cigarette was the alternative to smoking cigarettes called Prime in the '80s? And you said you keep getting the loaded sign with my life. I think they. You know what? I'm not gonna say what I think, but thanks for coming through and supporting, man. Chris, you said you dance, you could lose yourself on the dance floor. Okay, okay. What genre was this so I can get the feel of it? Was it in the '80s when you was doing all this? Chris out there getting his John Travolta on. No, not e-cigarettes now. They out now. I'm talking about back in the day, it was only just Prime. King Fire! What's up, King Fire? Hey y'all, have y'all been getting my notifications that I'm live? Yeah. He's getting his guy there going Kevin Bacon. Oh, Kevin Bacon was in Roadhouse. King Fire, what you got going on, family? I don't know why, man. I think they doing something. Trump is more an administrator or businessman instead of a politician, right? Okay, footloose, footloose, kick off your Sunday shoes. I remember that shit. Foot lazy, footloose, flash dance. I miss my old vape mods running a rabbit setup for Max Clouds. That rabbit shit got a motherfucker blowing smoke like a motherfucker. That's what it is, King Fire. I know something happened. They stopped sending out my notifications, man. They stopped that shit. But it's all good. Smash that like. Thanks for y'all for even finding me coming through and showing that support, man. Okay, okay. Late 80s and 90s and nineties. Okay. So you was dancing off a lot. See, me, I came up in the 80s when um the top people making music were Europeans, like the Police, Simon Le Bon and them, and Wham, George Michaels, and Boy George, comma, chameleon, and David Boyd. My favorite joint by David Boyd was that joint. What was that? Let's dance. Put on your red shoes. Let's sing the blues. Let's rock. That joint. What was that? My Little China Girl. My Little China Girl. So you just kick back. Okay. And because they see we're not left and right here, we're just American. I think that's what's the problem in. I think it's too much unity here. And because I've been looking at David Boyd. You ain't fuck with David Boyd. David Boyd was like that. David Boyd, Sting, like I say, boy, George Michael is one of my top 10 singers. I don't really wanna dance again. The empty feelings got no rhythm. Mm, 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 mm. Yeah, I think it's too much unity here, fam. The Southern Poverty Law Center was paying the KKK and others to push racist acts, and the Black Lives Matter burnt down the whole city. But I'm sure there was some good protesters there too. Right? Can you tell me three black people that were Black Lives Matter protesters? I don't know no black people that was Black Lives Matter protesters. Me myself personally, and I've been to Black Lives Matters rallies, and I was selling paraphernalia there, like T-shirts and stuff like that. I'm telling you, 99% of the people there were white. 99% of the people there were LGBTQ plus community members. 99% of the people there were being paid. Okay, I don't know no black people that was part of Black Lives Matter movement, and that's it is what it is, family. Smash that like, y'all. Shut me out. Double tap the stream. Did you vote for this? Know what I mean? I was going to say I couldn't tell who was black and white because they were all dressed up as women. Exactly. At a Black Lives Matter meeting, one and I was at one joint right there. Y'all, if y'all familiar with Washington D.C., it's a straightaway street that leads you to the Washington Monument and the mall. But that straightaway street has the White House on it, and also the FBI building. But I was right there, and I heard Black Lives Matter, blah, 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 and I looked and seen a float coming down the street. The float had one black lady and like 30 white women on that float. On nobody else black on the float but a lady with the megaphone. It's crazy. Boy was always clean on his vocals. Culture Club, Dead or Alive, Early Pet, the Pet Shop Boys. Hmm. White ladies matter. They sure do. Know what I mean? Because they do that pillow talk. But I'm talking about white girls with boots on and lumberjack shirts. Not white ladies. White girls with boots on and lumberjack shirts and skull caps. Y'all remember them grab them in the pussy hats that was going around, them pink hats like little cat ears on them? Or when I was in Washington D.C. one day, I was there selling T-shirts and paraphernalia. I was selling I know my worth T-shirts and stuff like that, and then I was selling. It was like around August 28th. They were having some speech for Martin Luther King, but they were giving away the pink hats on one street. There was a lot of LGBTQ people and stuff protesting. They was giving the hats away. I got like 4 or 5 of them. So I go on the next street over. It's the Black Lives Matter street. Man, do you know they bought those pink hats from me for like $20 a piece? And I went over there like 3 times and got the free pink hats and came back on the other side and was selling them to these people in one street over. Smash that like. How many of y'all in this chat stream got a white old lady? Because y'all is some of the most disrespectful, misogynistic, homophobic motherfuckers I know. How many of y'all in here got a white old lady? Yet y'all dating a white woman or married to a white woman? Because y'all got some ain't nothing wrong. Yeah. Yeah, well January 6th is sort of like did y'all see that the documentary we watched the other night on the rednecks? It seemingly somebody was in here and they said that those rednecks were just um posers. They weren't real rednecks. It's like people that buy um Jordans but don't play basketball. They're fucking posing. That's half of the black community. They buy Jordans but they don't play basketball in them. You know what I'm saying? Or people that walk around with skater clothing on, skater shirts and stuff that skaters will wear, but they don't skate. They're posers. That's what skaters used to call them back in the day when I was young. Fake motherfucker, they call them posers. You fucking poser, man. Okay, you married to a Filipino that's 1 year older than you. Okay. You sound white in your bloodlines. You know some crazy CT. You probably serious. Why do you care about the Mexican jokes, man? And I just did my research. Do you know that how America got its name? And no, it wasn't Colombians got it and named Amerigo Vespucci. That's what they try to run it to us. Amerigo Vespucci was a guy that drew a map and he wrote a book called Nuvas Con Nuva, something like that. And Amerigo Vespucci. But with this stuff, he wrote a book and he wrote America on the bottom part of the North and South American Peninsula. He wrote America and the name stuck. This guy never even came to America. He named it America, and that's crazy. Freddie Mercury would have been one of the greats. And what does that mean? My mother married an African American, and I have a half sister. Oh, you got a half sister? Okay, 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 okay. So, did you live in the house with the black guy? Because there's no such thing as an African American unless he was born in Africa. Barack is, or his daddy, or his parent, one of his parents are African. So, did you grow up in the house with a black man? Was he in your house? And what decade was this in, too? As, but yeah, Freddie Mercury was like that with that. That voice was unmatched. Do y'all? So you got black siblings, like black not siblings, but black family members, black nephews and nieces, and we'll keep fighting till the end. That I'm telling you, Mercury was like that. He was a rock and roll Mick Jagger type. Remember Mick Jagger used to do that little dance? If you start me up, I never stop. That shit, yeah. Mick used to do his thing too. But Mick Jagger and them, they really wanted to be black, to be honest. They even so much as said it that they wanted to be black blues singers. As the black dude, what year was this you grew up? They ask me how I know. I'm a quarter century into my own one night stand with my white old lady, Irish stock and good Catholic girl. So I miscreant likes me. Okay, that's what it is, Chris. Wishing nothing but success with that. Ah, a quarter century, 25. You got a lot of experience with it. Okay, 25 years you've been with your queen, right? What would be the most thing? What would be the most important thing I should know for your longevity, Chris? What would you attribute your longevity? All right, folks, I gotta go bounce, but I hope everyone has a blessed night or day wherever you are. Salute, Gander. Make sure you get back over here and check us out too, fam. For those of us who ain't got the notification on, put the notification on because it's saying like I'm on some blackball shit. Oh yeah, in the 80s and 90s. So okay. So so would you say he was a father figure to you? I'm not gonna say he was your father because no matter what color somebody is and whoever they are, as the person ain't the person father, I don't condone that shit. All that is daddy. Nope. Your father. Was he a father figure to you though? Freddie didn't care about genres and moved on from his last album like he didn't care rock, pop, jazz because he was a performer singing the song. They put his song in the category. A lot of performers just sing their songs. It's like when we sang some other performer song, we always try to sing it in their voice and try to instead of trying to sing it to our capabilities. A lot of people don't realize that's why they can't sing because when you sing a song and you say I can sing, you can't sing even if you can do a perfectly good mimic of the person, you're mimicking somebody else's voice. Like when you sing a song, you're supposed to take that song and make it you. What happened to the other members of the band after Freddie died? Fire. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, Black Ball. My shit was booming at the beginning of the last month. You know it. You was here. And now it's this. I mean, it is what it is, though. Did y'all see that it was sun out at 9 o'clock? I already said something about it, but at 9 o'clock tonight, it's 10:56 now. The sun was out in this area. You said that the black guy was the best. He was better than my blood father. Okay. So can you name one thing that he taught you or he showed you as a man and it stuck with you? What's one thing he taught you as a man? I'm gonna tell you one thing that I tell all my kids, and it sounds cliche when you think about it, but when you think about it, it makes perfect sense. I tell them to keep their head up, no matter what they're going through, no matter who the fuck it is, no matter what it is. Keep your head up and stand on it. And I mean, own it, make it you, whatever it is, because it is you. You go through it, but no matter what, I mean, keep your head up. Honestly, and I witnessed to fight. argue. You should always air your grievances. Never let that shit fester. Right. That beef shit. Fuck all that bickering beef. It it dampers the mood in the household when there's beef like that. Yep. Work hard for what you want. Exactly. And keep your head up, man. In my half a century and some years. Hey yo. What obsession? What is that about, Seven Gator? What's the movie Obsession about? Let me guess. Some guy falls in love with this girl. She doesn't know he exists, and now he's stalking her on the internet. Who remember Calvin Klein Obsession Cologne? Yeah, man. Keep your head up because, man, and I'm gonna tell you something. It's from learned experience because, um, for like I'll say, shit, when I was a younger, right after I turned 18, before I turned 18, I had some tumultuous times. The typical things that young men go through in life. They get rambunctious and started bucking. No, not CK. Calvin Klein Obsession. That CK1 something different. Brian May continued touring and finished up his PhD in physics, did his thesis in space dust and its effects on observation. Saw him live at my local pub. An amazing gig. Okay. About a man who makes a wish on a woman he's in love with, and she falls in love without consent, and it's showing throughout in horror. Okay, so she falling in love with him, but she don't know why. You said it was awesome for anyone ever. Can you explain it though about a man who makes a wish on a woman he's in love with, and she falls in love without consent? So it's like she doing everything just because of the wish, and she's trying to figure out why she's doing it. And y'all notice that word toxic had popped up about 20 years ago, and it has become a mainstay in the lexicon for everything that it wasn't. At first, toxic was nuclear, radioactive, poisonous. Now toxic mean it's like a more as a physical as a trait that people have. You're toxic. Remember all the women, every time you fuss with your girlfriend, she holler at you toxic. Did you just learn that word? Everybody was calling everybody toxic. Like that shit was crazy. You're toxic. Shut the fuck up. Guys gets a wish, makes the girls love him. She goes cray cray. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, okay. CK. Yeah, that CK was like that. CK1. One of them shits was made for men and women. It was unisex. Bro, it was great. Directed by fellow YouTubers. It was basically a wishbone, and her real personality shines through possession, trying not to spoil. Okay, okay. I got it. But yeah, I saw something about that with the YouTube producers. It's like two or three YouTube producers going up against top brand studios and knocking them out the box. Well, it's some amazing people that's on YouTube with talent because more than likely people who are in mainstream media, they're like chosen and in that little crew. Cam, what's up with you? The stream been shit. Shit. You know what Florida Evans would say right now, homie? Damn, 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 Cam. Smash the punch bowl. This shit ain't been going right, family. How you, man? You selling the cars this week? I ain't been. I mean, okay. Oh, YouTube clips. They usually, well, even this previews of movies usually show you everything that's of importance in that movie. Oh yeah, what was you at that? The cinema draft cafe? Seven Gator drinking. What y'all was drinking? You say you wasted. What you drinking? And you got your beanie. I know you got your beanie on and your hands in your hoodie. Got your hair hanging down and shit. What was y'all drinking? Gator in the house, bad news. Gator in the house, bad news. Gator, what was y'all drinking, fam? A Honda Civic and a Silverado 1500. Wow. How much did the Honda Civic go for? Okay. Movies and martinis. Okay, was they apple martinis? That's my queen. I don't know. She probably had an apple martini before, but if she has it, I'm gonna turn her on to something. It just came to my apple martini's good as a motherfucker too. A dirty Tito's and a pineapple. Ah, that Tito's. Freddie M was one of the greats and was a victim of Dr. Fauci too. He was right in the middle of the AIDS epidemic. Dr. Fauci had something to do with the AIDS epidemic. But y'all notice the AIDS epidemic was right up there with the crack epidemic. They put black people on with crack and tried to destroy us. And then the white kids that were the party kids and the kids that didn't want to fucking conform, they gave them AIDS. The Civic was 12,900. It was the older used one. The Silverado was 1850. Well, you know, the Civic would have probably was more reliable. Those Civic Hondas has got some reliable cars. CK1 was unisex. I prefer Jupe. Hey yo, yeah, Jupe. Ain't nobody saying nothing about Jupe in a minute. Jupe had, I mean, Jupe, red door, that cling to your clothes essential. Back when we could still smoke at clubs and your shirt was drenched in sweat. Okay, but it gave it that smell. So back then it was Jupe. It was Fahrenheit. Remember Fahrenheit? It was Jupe, Fahrenheit, CK1, Obsession. Polo is the granddaddy of them all. Fuck Fucci. Yeah, that age shit was something else. That shit was meant to take out all the homosexual white kids and black kids that was taking over all the metropolitan areas. Bro, you know when you almost give yourself away to a coworker and decide, nah. Explain that, Seven Gator. Explain that, Seven Gator. Hell yeah, the Civic had 80K miles, but still felt brand new driving it. I added in a warranty for the guy at our cost, so he only paid $1,000 extra for a powertrain warranty. Okay, his last message was hi friend. Yeah, that green bottle polo with the gold on it. Yo, you know that's classic in the hood. When a motherfucker got polo cologne on in the 80s, they just knew he was the shit. It was polo. It was that Dracar Noir. Um shit. I remember when the oils was pumping. It was Egyptian Musk, Blue Nile, Obsession. You said it feels southern as fuck. Future wasn't involved back when it was still grid and not called age yet. Back when you had two major pharmaceutical companies weren't over who found it. Dracar, not Dragoons, Dracar. Yeah, but you in Ohio, ain't you? I heard there was a shooting in Ohio today too. Remember when they tricked y'all and told y'all AIDS and HIV was two different things? He doesn't have AIDS. He has HIV. That motherfucker got AIDS. Remember that shit? It's like I don't know from girl to girl. It's a condescending type greeting. Weirdly, oh, the girl from your job. Cincinnati. And why don't any of y'all know about WKRP in Cincinnati? That old show with Venus Flytrap and that white guy was the DJ and Venus Flytrap was the DJ, and I think what happened in Cincinnati today, Gator and Toledo. He was 32 years old, can't fight. I love Cincy. I've been up there several times. I'm in Kentucky, about 5, 6 hours from you. Okay, okay, you know about WKRP, yeah. You know Venus Flytrap, the guy that played Venus Flytrap, Tim Weed. He was from my hood. He a big thing around here. Yeah, he throws a tennis match every year. He also has one of them studios like Tyler Perry has, where you can go shoot your movie and stuff. Tim Reed and his wife Daphne Maxwell Reed. Toledo was amazing at one point. They purposely ruined it, though. I don't know what resources was there. Yeah, somebody got shot up in Toledo today. So take those old records off the shelf. I'm gonna listen to them by myself. Today, music ain't got the same soul. Ohio Benjo. Look up Fucci was the first one to put out a report saying you can catch ASAP just touching someone in your home. That's crazy. Known as the weird state, we are a hub for alien shit. But I'm telling you something. Toledo, Ohio, been in the newspaper lately as a big ticket item, as a tug of war with the Republicans and the Democrats, and you know what I'm saying. There are two different things. You can get HIV and not have it become AIDS. HIV is a virus. AIDS is when it causes a collapse of your immune system. Wow, Chris. Yes, Michael Jackson got special shoes to do that shit. Are y'all cold with this thing on? With the mix bag, you're cold or you're not? Damn. If you want to, because that shit is permanent. Eehee. Chillin', chillin', chillin'. Money Mike. Sipping Zima. Money Mike with the green beamer. Sipping Zima. What this girl named Katrina. Yeah, Lonnie Anderson was on WKIP. Big data center bargain. A lot of farmers are denying the balloon, the billions, but okay, he's buried 3 people on AIDS, Chris. That's what it is, family. CT, this is all common amongst us conspiracy theories. The public info on this donation is why. Time frames. Let's hit the like button. Right, Money Mike? What's up with you? What I missed with the CT situation? But no, Chris is right about the simple situation with the AIDS shit. But if you had to live through the '80s, you would see it. Just like they try to make it seem like AIDS was in the black community, it was not in the black community. Like it was sort of like Black Lives Matter. They attributed a lot of to black people, but it wasn't really touching us. 2 gay friends and an ex. So we were still waiting on the latest intel and treatment data as it came out. You watch someone you love. And that shit was happening in the '80s like crazy. People was that shit was killing them. That shit was cutting their ass up. Like they looked like horrible, man. Like it almost looked like malnutrition, but it was from, you know what I mean, white happy people. But y'all notice that shit came and went like the crack epidemic. It's still people that get AIDS now, but remember, this shit came and went. You don't hear nothing about it now. Y'all know it is a Ebola outbreak in Africa. Right? What's that dude? Shirilla. He brought the AIDS medicine and raised the price up. He also the same dude that brought the Wu Tang secret, the Wu Tang, the last Wu Tang joint for $1 million. It was an album. Smash that like 7 of y'all. Greatly appreciated for coming through, showing that support. Plenty drugs to treat yet no cure. Remember that? Remember that's where the drug cocktail came from. When I heard somebody say they had to take a drug cocktail. AIDS was scary in the '80s. Oh, that We Are the World. That was the shit. You know this name made another We Are the World. We are the world. We are the children. We can make them better days, so let's start giving. There's a chance we'll win, and I won't lie. Ooh, we make them better. Yeah, that shit was like that. That We Are the World. There was a lot of confusion back in the day. It first appeared in the gay circuit and was still called grid back then. It got called AIDS when it started killing off hetero people. Right. Okay. It's sort of like recently they just had an outbreak of some kind of, well, rashes were all over people's bodies and shit. They just had an outbreak of that shit. And they said it started from clubs in Europe and South America. What was the name of that disease that just broke out about a year ago? That monkey shit. How much did Trump pay for ivermectin? Some local lady said to me, ivermectin might be the cure for her basically menopause. What the fuck? What's ivermectin? Yeah, the monkeypox. Thank you, there, sis. That monkeypox popped off, and it was saying it was from gay sex in clubs in Europe and in South America. That shit was fucking up. You remember that shit came out Seven Gate a couple of about a year ago? The fucking monkeypox. Everybody was kung fu fighting, doo, doo, and they was fast as lightning. Ivermectin is a fucking horse dewormer or anti-parasite. Wow. All right, CT. What you about to go get into? Amazing conversation, brother. Thanks for coming through. You still ain't set up no challenge on Rome Total War. I know my number of booty calls would be a lot higher back then. Okay, you just shut down. What they buy today, CT? What was the number one liquor or beer that they bought? And have you ever seen that documentary on Paps, the dude Captain Paps, the Miller Brewing Company, the best Milwaukee Best Brewing Company, and Schlitz. And y'all know Schlitz is the one that invented the 40 ounce. And they learned about how to sell to black people from the documentary, how to sell to a Negro. But yeah, Schlitz, malt liquor bull, can make the 40 ounce. That's crazy. Smash that like y'all. The joke is America got fat because the Europeans saying feed the world one year, then Americans release We Are the World. Damn. Europe saying feed the world. America said we are the world, so feed us. But that was crazy. Remember Shally Struthers from Archie Bunker used to be telling you to give $1 a day to some little kid so you can buy him a big bag of rice to feed him and his family. And they had a kid up there with the shit running from his mouth. They said they couldn't eat solid food, and it was a whole big Ponzi scheme. Remember the Matcha Dimes and them marathons for fundraisers to come on every fucking week. Lou Ross would be up there singing and Frank Sinatra and all them cats. The Shriners and Danny Thomas, Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis was funny as hell when he was young. He was a funny motherfucker. He was the original Nutty Professor. Jerry Lewis and Don Nuts are underrated. Them motherfuckers funny. Don Nuts, that bitch is crazy. Early in the morning, I put breakfast on your table. And in your comprehend, your eggs are over easy. You don't look like me. All this missing is your morning blunt that used to greet me. Now you say the kush is stronger, and the girl's cooking is so sweet. And I often try to wonder why you stopped smoking out leaves. Now your bong is always fat in your. I donated today for by the way the first time in many years to St. Jude. Oh yeah, what you called it in or you put it in the little bucket? It's hopefully because St. Jude they've been a goddamn Ponzi scheme since I've been a little one. It's because Gator Young Gator I want. There's any old heads in here that remember Ernest Angley back in the same era that schools still encouraged kids to have pen pals. Yeah, I had a few pen pals. I had a pen pal in Trinidad named Marsha Skeek. That was my pen pal when I was a kid, when I was younger. You say it's in Memphis, fam? Damn, $200 a month. That was the one you had hope in. Gave it away to. Nah, ain't no hope in it. Ain't no future. Smash that like y'all. Share me y'all. Thanks for all y'all coming through too, man. We've been kind of dry at the bar lately. The chill's been dry. Oh, Danny Thomas. Danny Thomas. Ooh. Danny Thomas used to steal that money too. Money man. Money man, that's where you at? Memphis? You in Memphis? Did you go how we been through? What's your favorite Tommy Wright song? Memphis folks is crazy as a motherfucker. So they still pimping in Memphis. That's what it is. You know, Memphis is one of them what is like a main stopping point for all kind of trucks and you know what I'm saying? It's a replenishment center. I bet you Memphis got a lot of gas stations. Well, I remember Memphis was getting popular with their music, and everybody was looking at Little Rock, Arkansas, as the um, gang capital of the South. Still pimping. Milwaukee, Milwaukee got a lot of pimps too. Yeah, distribution centers. They got all the major distribution centers, don't they? They got the FedEx, probably Amazon, Walmart, Target. Y'all remember Radio Shack? That was my shit. Their catalog was off the chain. Like damn Radio Shack. Tommy Wright had a song, Still Pimping. Okay, okay, okay. Tommy Wright was the underground answer to Memphis. Purple Rain was the best album. I remember when Purple Rain was popping too. I lived across the street from these two cats that was from which Indiana. Two black guys. It was John and Wayne. They were both dark skinned, but they loved Prince. They had the Jerry curls and well, Prince didn't have a Jerry curl. Prince had, they would call it a wave nouveau. They had the shit, the hair. They used to wear the ruffled shirts and they used to ride tandem on a motorcycle. It looked so weird. Two motherfuckers dressed like psychedelic, aristocratic French noblemen. John and Wayne. Me and my sister was cool with their sisters. Them two was on some different shit. They were like I said, they was from I mean another state, and I wonder what happened to John and Wayne. Yeah, the Hawaiian Silky. Yeah, Money Mike. Yeah. That Purple Wayne. But do you remember Prince's first album he put out? Yeah, that's what it was like a mullet with a jerk curl. Wait a minute, eyes. Are you white or black? I thought you was white. And you went and got a fucking jerk curl. You don't went and permed your shit. Remember the rat tail? Remember the rat tail and the shag? I donated to Care Flight, Muscular Dystrophy, and mine. Plus, the family donate to two orphanages, and we are trying to crowdsource local resource for IT teacher for our local school in Candy Dasa. Okay, I'm trying to. How does that crowd surfing work? Crowdsource works. Chris, get me on some crowdsource and get this e-bike paid for, man. I'm trying to get an e-bike in the next 30 days. Fan funded. Some smooth, you heard? Some smooth, you heard? Yeah, Prince album, the first one when he was naked on it. That's a dope album too. That was the first thing I ever sold on eBay. I used to sell a lot of shit on eBay. Records. One time and I started with a crate of records that I found that one of my family members had, and it was a banger. All the records in there were pristine, and it was some classics, you name it, in all genres of music. It was a beer crate of bangers, and my family had left it, passed away. And look, I sold all the records on eBay. It was my first thing I sold on eBay, and I also sold the milk crate on eBay. It was Lincoln. What's that shit? Lincolnburg, Lincolnville is a beer from Germany, out of Germany. I sold the crate and everything. I'm white. I look like a white Rick James, and I had a red tail too. Oh boy, 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 boy. Mhm. Mike, what you think about Big 30 and I think he just got a bond home. You think they're going to penitentiary for the shit they did? And did you ever run across Coops the nigga out there when you was in the streets, Mike? Coops the nigga. All right, that's what it is, Gator Waiter. I'll be right here, fam. Thank you for coming through with that support. You see this shit? J.D. Vance thanking Charlie Kirk death for his new baby. What the hell? Name him Charlie then. I tried growing a rat tail twice. My siblings cut my first one off, and a girlfriend and a friend got my other while I was stoned on some them Northern Lights. Chris, you old as hell. Northern Lights, what was it? White Widow, and Northern Lights was the first exotic weed that went beyond Bud, uh, Chocolate Chai, Acapulco Gold, uh, Albuchino Red Hairs, Arizona, and then they came with the Northern Lights and that White Widow, man, and that Ganny. You say he a crash out, Money Mike? That's crazy. Has he ever been to prison before or jail? Because he seemed like one of them studio gangsters. They known for doing shit wilding out, but they ain't known for doing no jail time. What's up with Tennessee prison system? You don't really hear too much about it. Most prison, on the main prison system you hear about is like Georgia. See what I'm saying? That's gonna be his downfall. He willing to commit them crimes, but he ain't willing to do the time, and it's going. He probably end up snitching. Okay, he probably end up snitching. Damn, Money Mike. Was Lord Infamous in the streets for real, or was he just a rapper too, like his brother? Lord Infamous, man, he one of the best lyricists in the game. You say it's overcrowded. Okay, okay, because you don't really hear too much about it being like the Georgia prison is up there with L.A. You know, well, California. California prisons are the fucking worst. If I do some shit in California, give me an interstate contact so I can get the fuck out of there. Because that shit is the worst. You feel me? Who the fuck wanna do time in Cali? Because I don't. That interstate compact shit. Lord Hustle. Okay. Is that a new? Okay, Lord Infamous used to hustle. Okay, okay. I lost my rat tail when I told my girlfriend I would cut it off and gave it to her, and she would give me some. Oh man, you gave your rat tail up for some pussy. You terrible boy. Crowdsourcing here is different. It involves social media with other resort sharing advice and selling the benefits that they can personally make from the local kids. Wow. You can buy a case F state, but that's how it is here too. It's a city here that this guy had. Okay, look, he got caught with a bunch of kilos of cocaine, and he also killed his girlfriend, who was an up and coming star, basketball star here. Right? That nigga got a bond. They gave him $1 million bond. He was able to put up $100,000 and get out. I remember the police were seizing people vehicles and shit, and they took this Jamaican dude named KC BMW, and they made the BMW a police car in the city of Portsmouth. And then the police chief gave the car to his wife. Like, come on, son. That resurgence of Michael Jackson got kids tripping. It's like they just discovered Michael Jackson. Because my kids are ee hee and singing Billie Jean. And I'm telling them that shit was out 40 years ago. They singing something from 40 years. There's so much shit to be refurbished and revamped from our childhood that these kids, like He-Man, y'all notice they bringing He-Man back out, but it don't seem like the same He-Man. He-Man, remember that? He-Man. Yeah, you can buy a case with anything. If you go in there with a paid for a lawyer, you essentially buying the case because the lawyer gonna take his cut, and then the judge gonna take his cut. You know what I mean? The prosecutor gonna take their cut, especially if it's a name brand case. The lawyer might come in and say you need this and that for an investigator. The whole time the judge needed to send his wife on vacation to Cancun. What's going on? Double tap the string. The judicial system, it ain't never been about justice. It's how much you can pay. That's why when I'm facing any kind of time or even a civil case, I look at the lawyer with the dirty shoes and the law books, not the one with the clean shoes and the new suit, because he's just trying to get you to buy him a new suit and some new shoes. Billie Jean's song is about having a child and not wanting to pay child support. Not my son. No, it is not. Billie Jean is a song and it's an actual person that the song is about. The song is about a singer by the name of Mickey Howard. And if you go see Mickey Howard's son, he's supposed to be Michael Jackson's son. But the problem I have with that, everybody that said, yeah, he looked just like Michael Jackson. He don't look like the original Michael Jackson with the big nose. You know what I mean? The brown skin Michael Jackson. He looks like the Michael Jackson after the operation. So what did this? Did Michael Jackson his sperm count got facelifts too? That's the problem. He got the cleft chin. Michael Jackson didn't have a cleft chin before his operation. He didn't have that little button nose. He had a big ass nose. But the kid sort of looks like the Operation Michael Jackson. So it's you be like, you sure? Yeah, Billie Jean is not my lover. That it was actually about Mickey Howard, the singer, and her son. Google that shit. I think Mickey Howard's still living. Matter of fact, she is still living because she was doing interviews about that shit. Y'all know Michael Jackson was dating Brooke Shields when she was a teenager, and Stephanie Mills. She's just a girl. That's who Billie Jean is. She's just a girl. For 40 days and for 40 nights, I was on the site. Remember to always think twice. Don't think like you. Ben was one of my favorites, but that was about a rat. Yeah. Michael Jackson was weird with some of his music. That Ben shit was about that rat. Then he had the thriller shit. When you go back and think of Michael Jackson, he was the greatest entertainer because he wasn't in a genre. He all of his shit was, you know what I mean? Michael had them popping back then. Remember Pepsi Cola burnt them up? Was it was Pepsi Cola, right? The Pepsi generation? Yeah, damn Mike. That shit, they said that shit fucked Mike up too. Cause he got millions of dollars from Pepsi. Y'all know, like I always say, Michael Jackson said y'all wouldn't be playing PlayStation 5 right now if Michael Jackson wouldn't have got there gonna brought that Sony ATV. Cause Sony had made a lot of wrong moves with the Sony Walkman and copyright, and then they lost a lot of money. They lost their shirt damn near when it came out that the Walkman was a tape cassette, and then the next thing, the Sony Discman, and it was CDs. Nobody listened to tapes no more. Everybody was listening to CD music. Yeah, Mike was worldwide and respected. Y'all remember the federal government was after Mike? We didn't know about all this shit because it wasn't that transparent. But now, remember, Mike was going from country to country. That nigga was living in Ireland. I guess they got behind his ass. Next thing you know, Mike was in fucking like Dubai somewhere. And then he was in Southeast Asia. Sony was on his heels. I won first place in a talent contest, breakdancing to the song Beat It. Just beat it, beat it, beat it. Ugh. What was your favorite breakdancing move? I think Wesley Snipes was in Beat It, and the Puerto Rican nigga from um New York Undercover. Ah, you a straight wigger too. Put a jacket on you for the wigger in you. You a wigger. And put a jacket on you. Have y'all ever seen that movie, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I always seem to think that that movie is spoofing black people because those guys were like minstrels. And then the one that owns he's an actor. He owned that liquor everybody drinking. Casamigo, George Clooney. The Lullaby Queen was about a cat. The greats can write a banger off of my topic, off of any topic, right? It's always some animal. I remember the song Brandy about the dog. Sitting by an open fireplace in my favorite dungarees. Thought I'd get up and take a look around, but my feet got in the way. I stumbled to the door. I stumbled off the floor. She was right at the door. I could see your face. How could it be? She ran away from me. That shit is about a dog. My best friend's gone, and I'm so all alone. I really miss you, Brandy. You say you had a good moonwalk, but you like the Running Man. Yeah, I like the moonwalk too. And when your mama and them used to tell you to come in there and sing and dance, you always try to hit the moonwalk. But the Running Man was my shit because I was a Bobby Brown fan. That motherfucking Running Man. Okay, the Cabbage Patch. Okay, y'all some old motherfuckers. The Cabbage Patch, the Running Man, the fucking WAP, the WAP. Remember the WAP? The WAP or the. I'm saying, come on, man. Smash that like, y'all. Five of y'all in here, double tap that stream. Let's get the likes up to 100 in this joint. Thought I'd get up and take a look around, but my feet got in the way. That was my shit right there. When I listen to, when I think about old songs, it make me feel super old. I feel old like when Christmas was popular. Right now, Christmas seems more like a chore as opposed to a festivity that you be waiting on. Remember Thanksgiving and Christmas used to be it was the trilogy. It was Halloween, Thanksgiving, and then Christmas. You could not wait for the summer to be over so you can hit Halloween. As a kid, you dress up and we was literally going house by house with bags, getting bags of candy. And the most popular costume back in the day was the white ghost with somebody cut somebody's sheet up. Everybody running around with a sheet on. It was remember and snatching bags was the thing. And then Thanksgiving, that's when your cousins came over and people you ain't seen in a while, and you get drunk and eat turkey and take a plate home and About 3 days after Thanksgiving, you don't want no more motherfucking turkey. And then Christmas. You couldn't wait for Christmas. I could do the worm too, but only when the ladies are around. Okay. That worm was something else. If you can do the worm, you was a dancing motherfucker. Caterpillar. I always smash up my lower back trying to windmill. I used to windmill my ass off. I used to windmill my ass off. You know what I'm saying? I was around when breaking first came out, man. The first when it first got popular in like 1980, 81, motherfuckers walking around with cardboard and linoleum and throw it down and start breaking. Y'all know they're breakdancing in the Olympics now, but they don't have none of the greats there in the breakdance contest or teaching the people, coaching or judging or nothing. No Crazy Legs, no Lee from breaking from Beat Street. Y'all ever seen the movie Beat Street? Beat Street had my whole 80s wardrobe in it, besides when I started wearing the foreign stuff like Lika Sportif and La Tigre, um, Garan, Helmut Lang, different. Yeah, Beat Street. Beat Street was like that. And it was, you know what I mean? Y'all know it was Beat Street and then it was Crush Groove. Crush Groove was essentially um about Russell Simmons' life. Him and Run, which y'all call him Reverend Run right now. You smashed your lower back, Chris. How you smash your lower back? What? L5, L6, and L7. Eat your eggs or I'll break your legs. Right. Beat Street was the black version and Breaking was the white version. Breaking Electric Boogaloo. They're both, but Electric Boogaloo, they had so many spinoffs. That was Shabba-Doo and Boogaloo Shrimp and the girl. What was that Steven Seagal movie when his I think it was his niece or his nephew got killed? Danny, they hurt and his sister said they hurt him. I think it was either was it Marked for Death or was it the one when he was going against the mob? Okay, okay. Me too. Me too, eyes. So shit, you remember crayons? Remember the dress shoes everybody was wearing called crayons? Um, you remember when comic books and them little airplanes, little balsam wood airplanes were popular. As soon as you come in the store, the comic book stand was right there. That was crazy, wasn't it? That comic book stand was terrible. I don't go to that shit and pick up a X-Men, a Rom Space Knight, um, Super Friends, Jonas, Jonas James. What was the dude was from the Civil War? He had that little color in his lip. Jonah Jameson. BMX bikes. What kind of BMX bike did you have? I had the Stu Thompson. I had a Mongoose GT. I used to steal bikes. And what was crazy is a bike frame. We would trade bike frames. I done had your Mongooses, your GT. Remember the GTs used to come in white with the blue and yellow on it. You remember Solar? You had a Woolworths, yeah, Woolworths. Remember Solar put out those bikes with like the panels on the wheels, them gray bikes. There was a bunch of it was in Walmart, but who remembers Stu Thompson that used to race bikes in the 80s? Nobody fucking remembers Stu Thompson. He was a bike dude. Okay, you had the red line with the blue mags. Okay, you had a little money too if you had a red line. If you had a Mongoose, a Redline, or a Huffy GT, you had some paper. Remember the Mongoose, like beach cruiser bike with the straight handlebars when they came out? That was my shit. Breakdance back when the Rocksteady crew was the mainstream dance crew for the commercial TV before Baby Love that. Well, the Rocksteady crew, the New York City Breakers, you know what I'm saying? The Rocksteady crew, yeah. Which one on went to dance for the Pope? They had the Rocksteady crew, the New York City Breakers. It was one more of them Jones. Well, one of them went and breakdance for the Pope. Chris, and I ain't talking about, they was super commercial. I'm talking about, I grew up when breakdancing was the thing in the neighborhoods. People were actually battling dancing, and then they started battle rapping. I remember when all that shit popped off, man. You know what I mean? I remember when it all popped off, my G. Baby love. Now in the culture, when somebody says baby love, that means sort of like extortion money. Where that baby love at? Yeah, I came up listening to the shit when rap first started. I went to some of the first rap concerts. There was at armories and high schools and stuff like that. There wasn't no money in it. It wasn't selling out arenas or even filling up arenas. It's about when you can get a ticket to a wrestling match for a cool goddamn $5 or $6. You can get you a ticket to the wrestling match. And you know, wrestling, there's a venue that's like a few steps away from the projects in my downtown area, right? And I used to be wondering how these kids are going to these wrestling matches and doing all this shit. And then it was so cheap. I started going the monster truck jumps and all kind of shit, man. Remember the big boom boxes? They only had like an hour worth of motherfucking boom boxing in them because the batteries would go dead. And then the batteries were so expensive. All them goddamn batteries that used to go in there, you put the batteries in the refrigerator, thinking it'll recharge them back up. Did that work, Chris? When people put batteries in the refrigerator? Trump is so contradictory. If they beat Iran, why does he keep making statements that Iran hasn't made a deal yet? Like these people are so fucking contradictory with their mess. Oh yeah, your first concert was Too Short. Rocksteady had the top 40 song, so they got more exposure globally. What song Rocksteady had? Rocksteady ain't had no song. The Rocksteady crew ain't had no song. What was their song? They ain't rap. Oh yeah, okay. So you was that was your reputation in the hood. Okay. Too Short was like that too. When Too Short came out, he had everybody wearing them Oakland satin jackets. Sort of like how Two Live Crew had everybody wearing the Miami Hurricanes ones. And NWA had everybody wearing the Raiders. And you know, New York always sported that Yankee shit, that hat. Man, that New York Yankee hat was synonymous with dope boys in the 80s. I seen all the greats in concert. Like, name it. I seen Curtis Blow perform before. And I'm Curtis Blow, and I want you to know that these are the breaks. Break it up, break it up, break it up, get back down. I saw Curtis Blow perform shit about a mile and a half away from here where I'm at a rec center. And that's some shit. Curtis Blow, he was with this dude that I grew up with. He was a little bit older than me. He was a DJ called Disco D. And he went on to claim the fame. Have y'all heard, remember that song called Have You Seen Davy? Have you seen Davy? Have you seen Davy? That dude was really from um my state. My brother had a monster boombox, twin tape decks, and a record player with built-in lights. Right. I ain't had the record players on it, but I had the boombox with the lights. And I had that boombox up to like 10 years ago. I still had that big ass boombox and it still was working. Only thing wasn't working was the tape decks. Yep, them motherfucking big ass boom boxes. That shit had about an hour worth of life in them brand new all them batteries. Or that ice ice baby. Ding 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 ding. Ice, ice, ice. But then the ice wasn't that whack when it came out. People was feeling ice. Boom box, fat shoelaces, all that shit went out of style. Boom box, fat shoelaces, Kangos, Gonzales, all that shit. Okay, your boom box had a TV in it. God damn, you was doing it. So you watching TV for like an hour. Next thing that bitch dead. Or you need to plug it in. I remember when I first heard Planet Rock. That shit was crazy. Like the people who were playing it played it all day. That shit was phenomenal to me. When I first heard Planet Rock, a person played it all fucking day. That shit must have been released in Japan somewhere, fam. Cause I'm telling you, that shit was not popular in America. Is that where they get? That's what Method Man got that from Teddy Pendergrass. Hey, you get off my cloud. You don't know me. You don't know my style. We was getting mad. Man. He got that from Teddy Pendergrass, and it went like this: Hey, you get off my cloud. Hey, you. Yeah, I see it now, Chris. Hey, you, the Rocksteady Crew is the breakout singer from the Rocksteady Crew, the legendary Broxborn breakdance collective that helped. I did not know these dumbass mother. Cause you know, one of these niggas, these niggas was drug dealers too and drug addicts at the same time they was dancing. See, look, that shit was in UK, man. Yeah, that shit ain't even reached the charts here, Chris. Yeah, that was somewhere they were trying to exploit them people. That shit ain't even reach here because they was Puerto Rican like light skinned motherfuckers breaking the essences in the hood, man. Breakdancing. I remember when I first seen somebody came from New York breakdancing. I think I was in fourth grade. By a guy, no, I'd have been six. Guy by the name of Barrett Mitchell. Him and Reggie Copeland. Okay, you're oh that Motown. You are my shining star. Okay. Music just don't hit like it used to, man. Music, they done fuck music up. Music just don't hit like it used to. Hey you. All the great musicians die off early too. They eat them up, fam. They eat them up. Hey you, get off my cloud. You don't know me, you don't know my style. Yeah, Chris, you taught me something with that one. But you know that song never got any play in America. Y'all know that Jimi Hendrix had his history in playing guitar for Al Green and James Brown. Then he went to England and started talking like he was goddamn British. That's when he started to resonate as an artist. You know they stopped the snap shit too. The shit they was doing with the snap stuff, they don't halted it. Everything is remakes, not original more. Everyone sounds yep. Then they had up then they had Up Rock in '84 back when a bunch of white boys had those blue Civil War caps. Man, everybody had those Civil War caps though. Devious, everybody had like Cowboy used to wear one from what's the group Cowboy was in? You notice you don't see those hats no more, not even on in with Civil War people. When I know you're talking about the hat that's like, you know what I mean? You notice you do not see those hats no more. Even when they do Civil War reenactments, you don't see those slanted ass hats with the swords and shit up there, the cavalry hats. Up rock, you know that's a style of breakdancing too, right? When you up rock, when you be doing this shit, when they be doing that shit, you know, like when they be in each other face and they be like, that's up rocking. It's more done with the hands and shit. Yeah, Rocksteady and them, they was commercial breaking. It was the face of it. Back then, the best breakdancers that I seen was Filipinos, Asian breakdancers. We used to have these dances at St. Pius Catholic Church on the weekends, and they would have the breakdances. And the Asian niggas used to do their fucking thing. They used to have the white gloves on and be doing their little one too. The Jibberwockies ain't had shit on these Asians. I know. I think a gunman shot somebody at a festival in Toledo. What is it? You say you heard through the grapevine? Everything is remakes. Okay, I heard it through the grapevine. Okay, that's a dope song too. But you know that's a remake, right? They remade that song. It's crazy how that shit had a resurgence with the California raisins and shit. Yeah, the raisins had a little resurgence. I heard it through the grapevine. Honey, honey, mm. They said that Trump SNAP funding restrictions have been put on hold. You know when they say you can't buy no sweets and all that, they is terrible. Like all the little limitations and shit they put out there. But I'm telling y'all, this shit is worse than when they had the people, the drag queens reading in the library. I did not agree with that shit. No drag queen should be reading nothing in no damn libraries. I couldn't understand that move. I was being bombed by so many different bands back then. Culture Club. Ooh, Culture Club is one of my favorite. Alison Mayer, Neil Diamond, Kiss, Francois Hardy, Ossie Bisa. Yeah, Ossie Bisa, what did they used to sing? Okay, that synth music was like that too. That synth music. Y'all remember who's was that Transatlantic? Who's on that Kraftwerk? Kraftwerk spots joints like that, Kraftwerk, they had that. Who had that bass, rock, express, rock, and then numbers. Was that Kraftwerk? Kraftwerk had numbers. Remember numbers? Pika chicka chicka pika pika chicka 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 pika chicka 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 pika chicka chicka. Earth, Wind, and Fire for sure. Yeah, but that Kraftwerk had that song called Numbers. That's when that synthesizer got popular. Sneakers by Balmain. They got some Balmain sneakers. Shit's dope. I've always been each their own, but when they brought in the school thing, started getting man, they've been having sex ed in the schools for years. When they brought transgender to the forefront of American society, making it the new norm, that's what messed us up. It was fine when it was in behind closed doors and it was just amongst the people that was doing whatever they do. But when they brought it to the forefront and started making it normalized, that's when they fucked up with the transgender stuff. 'Cause that stuff ain't got nothing to do with sex. That's more like, I mean, it's more psychological. When we start feeding into the shit, accepting it, that's when the shit got crazy. When we start accepting the gender bend as the norm to just have it out like that, have motherfuckers out just doing them. You know, Versace got a Biggie shoe out, and what's so crazy about the Versace Biggie shoe? It's a play on the old school Gucci sneaker that even Jay Z, when he did the Sean Carter's, he and G Unit used it too. Is the blueprint for 'em. Them Biggie shoes look sort of like Stan, with some Stan Smiths, Adidas. They want a biscuit for them bitches too. They want $500 for some goddamn Biggie shoes. Get the fuck out of here. They want $500 for some Biggie shoes. Smash that like y'all. The white now targeting liberal independent content makers like BTC and Pac-Man literally made a list and declared them the enemy. Free speech is dying. I will go for that. Who is BTC and Pac-Man? Who is that? Questions for Trump supporters. How has he made America better so far? That might be my next title tomorrow, Money Man. How has Trump made America better? Nobody came to answer my question the other day when I was asking the question, who hurt America? Who changed America the most? Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's cool, Eyes. Cause I don't have a Facebook. I don't do a bunch of and Chris, you say the white now targeting liberal independent content makers. I'm a Aussie. We couldn't give a rat's ass about drag. We had Auntie Jack and Dane Edna. Dane Edna was the big white lady with the glasses and the hair and shit. What happened to Dane Edna? Thanks for sharing me out, fam. What happened to Dane Edna, man? She was right after the Benny Hill craze. Y'all remember Benny Hill? And you got the notion. Smash that like, man. Y'all cooling in the crib on a Saturday night. It's 12 o'clock. Time flying. Don't rock the boat. Don't tip the boat over. Rock the boat. Who was that in here that said they wanted to buy a CLA? One of them Mercedes Benz with the little round, with the big Mercedes round thing in the grill. You know when you buy that CLA, the lights and all that is extra. They have that light in the grill turn on and all that shit. You gotta pay money for that shit. Mhm. They say Trump's so detached from reality, he might not know how detached he is. You get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Nah, I ain't buffering at all. See what I'm saying? My joint just, but somebody else said I was buffering too. I think they blocking me out. Somebody else said that it's buffering, but it's not buffering because I'm not on a Wi-Fi or anything. I'm on a cell phone. That's what's so crazy about it. I think they got the block sauce on me. I'm not buffering at all, my G. Because you know when it buffering on my end, I click in and out, but I'm not. Ain't that crazy though, Chris? I'm behind the eight ball, family. They got me behind the eight ball. It may be my topics and stuff. I mean, they might be trying to suppress that shit. Right. That's what this is about here. That's what we do here, guys. We have dope conversations, but anybody's free to think whatever he thinks. I don't weaponize my opinion, and I don't allow nobody else to weaponize an opinion here because it's just your opinion. Explain, Money Mike. What's your reason on that? But yeah, it has, and I see that it's in me and this young man that does the MAGA shit, Jelly Neck, I call him. He been getting a little bit blackball too. But what? Why you say that, Money Mike? Smash that like, y'all. Rock the boat. Alexa, am I being shadow banned on YouTube? You don't get my notifications. I know, don't nobody get them. I got a whole fan base, and there's only 7 people came through here at a time. Well, 90 people came through here, but ain't none of my stock supporters came through. Come on, man. See Trump going after Sean Strickland. Is he going to protest out the UFC fight? Trump, man, Trump is terrible. He has enemies on every front right now. Geopolitically, um, not only does he have political enemies, he got people that's entertainers and sports figures, all kind of people he in opposition with, or that his name come up as they opt in conversation. It's crazy, man. Donald Trump has took the place of the Riddler and the Joker, and that's why I say, do y'all think MAGA gonna survive without Donald Trump? I don't think they're gonna survive without Donald Trump. And he ain't some, and it ain't like he no motherfucking stone cold killer that he's standing up there with a Colt 45 in his hand about to motherfucking let off. He ain't even that type of nigga, man. He more sneaky with his shit. He get your ass picked up. I read an article on the Ojibwa too, but the Ojibwa they say they're the largest, but I don't hear nobody saying their peoples was Ojibwa. See Trump, but who? Here's the question: what was the biggest song that Ray Parker Jr. had? Ghostbusters. Come on, hit me with some trivia. Let's see. Let's see what you got. His biggest song was Ghostbusters. I ain't afraid of no ghosts. Mm, 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 mm. Come on, what else you got? What else you got? Ace, eyes. That's me. Trivia. Yo, what's it? RFK, whatever his name is. I did not know he was a workout junkie. He Arnold Schwarzenegger up. Who the fuck is Mackenzie Shirilla? They say Trump might be running up in Bermuda. I mean Peru and another spot. Smash that light. Somebody got shot on Providence Road. That's crazy. I know what them apartments are too. Smash that light. I don't even have Netflix. What she do? But her name be popping up a lot. See that the group that is tasked with the biocontrol of insects got their funding cut so bad their own building. Wow. That bed bug shit, terrible. You said the people that's in control of bed bugs. Oh, you was okay. So so you was 10 years old in 1984. You sure you was 10 years old in 1984? Then you just said you was turning 55. But I remember when that joint came out. It came out. I thought that was before 1984 when it came out. It came out when Ghostbusters came out. Remember Ghostbusters hit the State Puff Marshmallow Man and Slimer and all that shit. What was the what was Biden doing on October 7th when Israel was being attacked by Palestine? What was he doing? Who knows? Sleep. So you think Israel got attacked by Palestine? Wow. You know that stuff if you want to keep it in the future with it. All of that stuff stems from like Yasser Arafat. When Yasser Arafat people, the PLO was in charge of Palestine. Hezbollah and it was the PLO, Hezbollah, and what's the other joint? Hamas. But the PLO was in charge. Hamas came into power because Bibi targeted the PLO, blocking its candidates and preventing voting. Only 30% of people were able. That's crazy because remember the PLO was like it was the PLO, and then in Western and Eastern Europe it was Let Lowenza, and Solidarity was in Poland. Let's see, um Nicholas Ceausescu was a tyrant. What Ceausescu was in um Romania, Yugoslavia, somewhere. Hmm. But yeah, Lech Lewenza with Solidarity. That shit came in with. It was the first day of his classified documents case interview. I think the timing was to cover us up keeping the classified doc. Yeah, Joe Biden suing their ass though about that classified document shit. Okay, okay. The PLA and the PLO. The PLO was the political arm of it, right? Because Yasser he used to be talking to him and Anwar Sadat. Y'all realize Anwar Sadat was not one of those Turkish Egyptians. Anwar Sadat was from the Aswan region of Egypt, which was considered the actual black Egyptians. The Arab Egyptians they came by way of the Byzantine Empire and the Ottoman Turks and all that stuff. And the British and the white folks allowed them to stay there so that they can justify not being Egypt not being really a part of Africa. That's crazy. Yeah. When somebody looks at a map and say they're not part of Africa, Africans ain't go there. When they got you believing that no dark skinned people were from Egypt and it's in Africa, they really got people believing that no dark skinned people, no Africans were in Saudi Arabia before white people came. They got you believing no Africans, no dark skinned people came to the Americas this way. They all came by way of the Pacific. The Pacific Ocean big as fuck. It's so far away from the Americas that Bering Strait shit go out the window. It makes you, you know what I mean? You like, huh? When you really look at a map and see how close West Africa is to um Brazil, and you know what I'm saying, you be like, eating crackers is crazy. And just when you look at a map and you see how little Europe is, but they make you think it's this big ass continent. He don't want his tapes to come out because it shows he was not right in the head. Who? Donald Trump? Oh, Joe Biden. Everybody knows Joe Biden won't right in the head. What y'all think about his wife lately going around talking about him? How is she throwing her husband under the bus like that? What type of shit is that? She's throwing old Joe Boogie under the bus. Boogie Woogie Fever. Okay, you're biting. Jill just threw him under the bus the other day, though. But I see Hunter Biden been coming out a lot lately. Y'all know Jill Biden is not Hunter Biden mama. Didn't Biden have a wife that died? What happened to Biden's wife? Hunter Biden been coming out speaking his piece. You know he got some millions too. The auto pen pardons. Well, Donald Trump has a um a pardon czar where you can pay money to get a pardon. Thanks for coming in. Double tap that stream, fam. Devious. How much am I buffering? Because this is strange. Yeah, I seen a little 1-2 that Hunter Biden was giving. Hey, but y'all, devious eyes, uh, money. I'm about to shut it down, man. It's pretty late on this end. I'm gonna catch up with y'all tomorrow, man. Enjoy the rest of y'all night. Peace. Make sure y'all get over there and donate y'all $1 to the BMC E-Bike Foundation. Too. Nightbot is dropping the link, so stroll back up in the joint. $1 to Black Money Trust. I'm trying to get this e-bike. That's social support.